What do we do?
So we've unfortunately made a slight navigational error.
Welcome explorers, I'm Alistair.
I'm Douglas, and we are the Highland Hikers. So join us today for a slightly different sort of walk. We're not going up any hills or doing anything like that. We're actually at the Riverside Museum in Glasgow city centre at the moment. So what are we doing today?
Yeah, we are heading up the Kelvin Walkway. So this is a kind of a decent sized walk. It starts here at the Riverside Museum and ends in Milngavie, and pretty much follows the River Kelvin for the majority of the way. So it's a decent length. It's going to be very, very flat, as you can imagine, going up the side of a river, but there's going to be a lot to see. It starts in the city. There's a few things we'll call out along the way, and then we get a nice wee walk through the countryside at the end.
Yeah, it should be quite nice. It's about 17 kilometres or 10 miles, and yeah, as Alistair says, pretty much no ascent to worry about, so you're probably only talking about sort of 4 hours, maybe less, depending on how quickly you walk along it. So yeah, it should be a nice walk. As I say, we're at the Riverside Museum just now, which, you know, if you sort of remember back to your childhood, there was the Transport Museum out in Kelvin Grove. That is now inside the Riverside Museum, and they've also got the tall ship on the River Clyde behind it, which is quite nice for the kids as well. Yeah,
it's definitely worth it. They have a few events when events are running. I've certainly been to kind of a whisky event in there, which was pretty good fun, just being in a big old ship and getting a wee bit of the old whisky down your neck. Never goes amiss.
Sounds good. Okay, it's pretty wet just now. I think the rain's going to be on for about an hour or two, so we're going to head on with the walk, and hopefully the conditions will brighten up as we progress.
Cool, we'll see you later. We're here now at the site of what Douglas and I know as the former Transport Museum. So I don't know how many times a kid I was brought here to run around all the old exhibits, and a lot of fond memories of the place. And it's quite different now to, you know, with the new Transport Museum. It's maybe not quite the same for us, but I think my kids will probably have fond memories of the new one instead. So.
Yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting that we obviously started out at the new one, but the walk comes past the old one now that we're at Kelvin Grove. You know, if we turn around, we've also got the Kelvin Grove art gallery that way. I span around a wee bit too far there, and you can also see the sort of towers and spires of Glasgow University behind us as well, just over there. Alice and I have fond memories of receiving a fine education from that establishment.
Yeah, that's actually where we met.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that before.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so we just thought we'd point that out as we were coming past, so we will continue on and point out anything else of interest as we go.
Yep. That's us made it to Kelvin Bridge area now, and this is kind of started of what we can see is a lot of the old kind of railway infrastructure that Glasgow had up until about the 60s. So this behind me here is the kind of Kelvin Grove railway tunnel. This stretches right down to pretty much the SEC train station itself just now, but as you can see it's closed off, and what I'll show you in a wee second is the kind of railway sidings that used to be here, which is now the car park for Kelvin Bridge Underground. So as I said, this whole area was just basically a big railway siding until it was cut and closed off in about the kind of 60s, now used for the car park for Kelvin Bridge Underground. And behind me here you can see, it doesn't look like it, but this is actually the entrance to the railway tunnel which runs under Great Western Road all the way to the Botanic Gardens. So It's fairly inconspicuous, but yeah, on the other side of there is just a massive big opening, and that goes all the way up to the Botanic Gardens, where there is actually a railway station under the gardens, and just some nice air vents you can see down into it from there.
We are just on the point of the Kelvin Walkway, where we cross underneath the Glasgow branch of the Clyde and Forth Canal, and that bridge you can see behind us, it's not a road or a rail bridge, it's actually an aqueduct for the canal, built back in 1790, so well over 200 years old.
Yeah, there are, I don't think I quite appreciated just how many bridges there are over this river. I mean, they've gone past countless. Even quite a few that are no longer used, where there's just maybe the pillars that are left and nothing more.
Yeah, certainly lots of interesting stuff, not our usual sort of hike, but lots of nice stuff in the city to see.
Definitely.
So we've taken a slight diversion off of the Kelvin Walkway, just at the point when it crosses underneath the Maryhill locks. And they're used to lower and raise canal boats to get to the different levels of the canal. Yeah.
Quite interestingly enough, there is a kind of swimming race here called the Red Bull Neptune Steps, I think, where I'm assuming you start at the bottom. You do. You start at the bottom, and they've got big nets coming up each of the locks. Each of them's closed. You've got to swim between them, climb up the net and over the top, and keep going. So I think it was held in November this year. Funnily enough, you'd still be able to do something like this, but I suppose if you're willing to go for a swim in these waters, then a pandemic's probably not going to...
Yeah, I think normally it happens in March every year. I actually half considered signing up for this year's one. I was into swimming for a bit, and then I thought that might be interesting, but I never did.
Yeah. I think you need a few jags after going in the water.
Probably, yeah.
Going by what you can't see what's below the camera, no. But it doesn't look very nice.
Cool. We're going to get a bit of lunch now, I think, before we then continue on as we start to head out of the city.
Yep. My personal highlight part of the walk just now. It's very, very scenic compared to what we were planning and doing today. Then this is much nicer. I thought we'd be avoiding the box today.
It's like being in Louisiana swamps.
What do we do?
Just power through.
Make sure you're under, right?
No way. Oh!
So we've actually now entered the kind of countryside part of the walk, and up until this point it's just been one big long bog. Our trousers are filthy, our boots are even worse. Morale is a wee bit low just now, but we're now
Well, I wouldn't say it's low just now. I mean, that boggy bit just after we kind of left the Mary Hill area, that was pretty bad, and I'm surprised none of us ended up on our arses during that time.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we've now come out, as you say, into the countryside just north of Glasgow, and it's lovely here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's the scenery's opened up a lot more. You're not looking at the backs of warehouses or houses themselves, but you know, we've got behind us the kind of end of the campsies, I think, and I'm pretty sure I can see them going just over to the side. It might just be out of shot just now, but it's looking a wee bit better now. Certainly, I know I said morale's low. It's probably going to get a bit better now.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's continue on with the walk.
Yeah, almost there.
Yep. Quite a tricky bit to navigate just now. Lots of spiky, thorny bushes and muddy path to walk along. Certainly out of the city now. That's for sure.
Oh, Dave's not even on the bank yet.
So we've unfortunately made a slight navigational error. Yeah, there was a point when we had to cross over an A road, and we were supposed to also cross over the River Kelvin at the same time as doing that, but we didn't, and we then went off course. And to correct, we're now kind of back at a busy main road.
Yeah, we're now going to have to walk down pavement at this A road, and it's just nothing but cars going past constantly. It's just behind the camera. This is not going to be a pleasant part of the walk, but I think we should meet up with where we were meant to be within the next 15-20 minutes maybe?
Yeah, we've not gone too far off course, fortunately we realised, but because we were on the wrong side of the river there was no way to get back to where we needed to go, so we've had to kind of cut through wee farm track and then up to the main road. So yeah, we're going to head back and try and rejoin the actual Kelvin Way now.
Yes, hopefully not much too longer, and it's pretty much about to get dark.
Yep, head torches will be out soon.
Yes.
So that's us made it to the end of the walk now. We had quite a bit through the dark there at the end, which was entertaining, but we made it.
Yeah, I'm glad we packed the head torches. I didn't think I was going to need it today at all, but I thought, stick it in just in case.
Yeah, definitely. Always pack your head torch, especially in winter. I think like the detour we took slowed us down, as well as the boggy ground. I think the walk ended up being more like 21 kilometres we did or something.
Yeah, we took a big detour and that ground was horrific at times. But I think the normal path would have been a heck of a lot better.
Probably, yeah. Once we got back on it, it was certainly much better. But yeah, no, it's been good. Good walk. So let's get on with this.
Yep, see you in the next one.